Hello everyone, my name is Emily.
My name is Bella.
Today we're going to introduce an ancient art. Have you ever heard about Constantinople? In addition, did you know who built it? There's another interesting thing that the kingdom was controlled by many co-emperors.
In the late century, the Roman Empire was divided into 4 pieces, and they were co-controlled by 4 different kings. The reason why they wanted to be like this was to stabilize the political system.
In 307 CE, the Romans were ruled by kings Maximinus, Licinius, Maxentius, and Constantine. They are all kings of Rome.
However, in 312 CE, Constantine beat his co-emperor Maxentius and controlled the Western Empire.
This is the famous battle called the Battle of Milvian Bridge.
Because of Maxentius' cruelty, Constantine decided to defeat him.
In early 312 CE, Constantine attacked Italy first. He crossed Alps, leading almost 40,000 of soldiers in. This encircled Maxentius' army and beat them fast.
To celebrate Constantine's victory, the Roman Senate built an arch. That is today's famous arch, the Arch of Constantine. The Arch of Constantine is located along the Via Triumphalis in Rome, and it is situated between the Flavian Amphitheater, the Temple of Venus, and Roma.
This location was important, as the arch was a highly visible example of connected architecture that linked the area of Forum Romanum to the major entertainment and public bathing center of Central Rome.
The monumental arch stands about 20 meters high, 25 meters wide, and 7 meters deep. 3 portals punctuate the exceptional width of the arch, each flanked by columns.
The central opening is about 12 meters high, above which are identical inscribed marble panels, one on each side.
The general layout of the main facade is identical on both sides, consisting of 4 columns on bases, dividing the structure into a central arch and 2 lateral arches.
The 4 columns are made of yellow marbles, one of which has been transferred into church and was replaced by a white column. The Arch of Constantine is the biggest arch in Rome.
It is not only the memorized arch, but also to prove the changing of Roman Empire and completely transform the history.
Thanks for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm True.
Hello everyone, I'm Miso. First, we would like to ask some questions. Which do you think is the most famous and important artwork in the Louvre? The Mona Lisa, the Wedding at Cana, or anything else? Today we're going to talk about one of the famous statues in the Louvre, Venus de Milo. In 1820, farmer Yorgos Kentrodus discovered it on the Greek island of Milos. Therefore, it is called the Venus of Milo. This is where it was unearthed. The farmer tried to hide the statue, but was later discovered by a Turkish officer. After that, the French ambassador to Turkey bought it, and the statue was presented as a gift the following year to King Louis XVIII of France, who later presented it to the Louvre. It is currently in the collection of the Louvre in Paris, France. But during the beginning of the German invasions in World War II, it was taken to Chateau de Valenquet, a castle at the edge of a plateau overlooking the Nahon River that luckily spared the German occupation. That's why we can see the beautiful statues in the Louvre.
Venus de Milo is an ancient Greek statue that was created between 150 and 125 BC. It appeared in Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty in Greek mythology. There's an argument about its author. People used to attribute it to sculptor Praxiteles, but now it's widely agreed that it was created by another sculptor called Alexandros. The statue is made of two pieces of marble that cleverly joined at a point between the exposed part and the rough part. The whole statue is 204 centimeters tall. That's slightly larger than a normal human body. There are many beautiful Venus sculptures all over the world. But why is this the most well-known one? What is special about Venus with the broken arm? The only one point is that, for more than 100 years, few people know how it was like before it broke its arms, because it actually had arms when it was on Earth. But unfortunately, it broke its arms in a fight between Turkish and French soldiers. Google's mirrors were later found in the old archives, which describe that Venus has her right arm and shirt hanging down, and her left arm over the head, hanging an apple, and with two earrings hanging down from both ears. However, no one can restore the statue to date now.
The charm of Venus styling is that she conforms to the golden ratio of the human body from any angle, so she can transcend the times and become a symbol of the eternal human of beauty. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I am Max from 7
Hello everyone, I'm Josh from 7-1.
Once upon a time, a person was sitting next to a river near the landscape, and and his friends were playing a game called Floating Would Come on a Winding Stream. The one who gets the cup needs to write a poem or drink wine. The person got a cup, so he started writing. In the 9th year of Yonghe, at the beginning of the late spring.
Guess what? The person was Wang Xizhi. The poem that he wrote is called 兰亭集序. This poem was written in 353 AD. Over 1,750 years. 兰亭集序 was collected and copied by many emperors, collectors, and historians. They also changed the belongers very frequently. The content of the poem was mainly about recording the game and a meeting in 353 AD. After recording these, Wang Xizhi started to write about human life. He said that life is short, so we need to cherish and enjoy everything around us. He also said if we are happy with our life, we can forget the sadness about our life will be over.
Wang Xizhi is a famous calligraphy writer in the Eastern Jin dynasty. There was a lot of fun stories about him. I'll tell you one of the most well-known one. When he was at the age of 21, a minister Xi Jian wants his daughter Xi Xuan to marry one of the Wang family's youth. Every teenager in the Wang family make themselves handsome except Wang Xizhi. Instead of making himself looking good, he just lied on the bed and ate a cookie, and they can see his belly. But Wang Xizhi was chosen at last because he was natural. Finally, Xi Xuan got married with Wang Xizhi. This is the story of the open belly.
As you can see, the biggest one is 兰亭集序, and others are other calligraphy written by Wang Xizhi. Wang Xizhi's calligraphies were different from others because of their natural and implicit. On the paper are many stamps. Why? Because over 17 centuries. Many people collect them, and they stamp a stamp of their names on the paper. So look, 兰亭集序 is so great that so many people strive for it. Wang Xizhi is known as the best and greatest calligraphy writer in the whole Chinese history, and many people know him now. Now, there is a festival memorizing Wang Xizhi and his calligraphies in China.
Actually, the 兰亭集序 you see now isn't real. People think that the real 兰亭集序 is already buried with Tang Taizong. So the 兰亭集序you see now are all copies. And there are lots of copies, like one written by Ou Yangxun, one written by Yu Shinan, one written by Chu Suiliang. And people think that the best copy is the Shenlong version written by Feng Chengsu. And it is now collected in the Beijing Palace Museum. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Johnny.
Today we're going to share our presentation. Have you ever been curious about why God has so much power? Have you ever asked yourself, is it wrong to do the right thing? Well, I'm sure that Laocoon has thought of these questions before.
Yes, the artifact we chose is Laocoon and the Sons. In the last drama written by Sophocles, which describes the Trojan War, Laocoon is a Trojan priest who wanted to warn the Trojans not to bring the wooden horse the Greek left inside their city, since he knew that there were some Greek soldiers hiding inside.
To punish Laocoon, Apollo, Poseidon, and Athena told a snake to attack Laocoon and his sons. Although this kind of thing happened, the Trojans still brought the wooden horse inside their city. And as we know, the Greek soldiers then climbed out from the wooden horse and occupied the city.
Laocoon and the Sons is a famous Greek statue which has been immortalized from a block of marble. How the snake entwined Laocoon and the Sons made a circle which was commonly used by painters in the Baroque era from the 16th century to the 17th century.
Laocoon and his sons was created in the 2nd century BCE during the Hellenistic period. It was found in Rome and was displayed in the Vatican museums in 1506 CE. After Napoleon Bonaparte's conquest of Italy in 1799, it was taken to Paris and placed in the Musée Napoleon at Louvre. Following the fall of Napoleon Bonaparte, it was returned to Vatican in 1816.
According to Pliny, an ancient Roman writer said, Laocoon and the Sons was sculptured by H. Sander, Athenadoros and Polydorus, three Greek sculptors from the island of Rhodes. Experts guess that Laocoon and the Sons was made for a wealthy Roman home and are sure that Nero had owned it.
Laocoon and the Sons represents a Hellenistic Baroque style, which uses a lot of golden decorations and geometries in the works. Michelangelo was affected by the artifact too, and that's the reason his arts are always full of muscles and sternity's main speaker. Laocoon and the Sons is also the prototypical icon of human agony.
The pain when Laocoon was entangled by the snake shows on his bulging eyebrow and struggling body. Although this is physiologically impossible, it flawlessly demonstrates the helplessness when human being is teased by gods. Without redemption, Laocoon and the Sons is only a symbol of hurt and innocent. There is no Jesus and no reward.
Thanks for listening.
Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn from 7-1.
Hello everyone, I'm Arena from 7-Li. Today we are going to talk about the Code of Hammurabi. Long time ago, King Hammurabi wanted to reunite Mesopotamia. Sun god Shamash taught Hammurabi the law, and Hammurabi made the Code of Hammurabi.
The Code of Hammurabi was by Hammurabi, the 6th king of the first dynasty of Babylon who governed Mesopotamia from 1792 to 1750 BC. It's now written in Sumerian and Akkadian, the Old Babylon dialect. The Hammurabi Code of Laws was a collection of 282 rules for Mesopotamia. It's now in Louvre Museum. It was found in 1901 at the site of Susa in Iran. There are many replicas of the Code of Hammurabi around the world, including the headquarters of the United Nations and Pergamon Museum in Berlin. Hammurabi's code was the first Mesopotamia law collection to be discovered, but it was not the first written.
The person on the left is the Babylonian sun god, Shamash, and the person on the right who holds the pen is Hammurabi. On this picture, Shamash is teaching Hammurabi the law, but in fact, the law was sought by Hammurabi. Hammurabi said to provide the strong from opposing the weak. The god granted him the rules. Mesopotamia is a historical area of Western Asia located within the Tigris and Euphrates river system. The historical area included parts of Iran, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey. The cuneiform is a local syllabic script that used to write several languages of the ancient Middle East. There are about 4,130 lines of cuneiform text on the Code of Hammurabi.
Cuneiform is the earliest known writing system. It was originally developed to write the Sumerian language of southern Mesopotamia. The most important idea of the Code of Hammurabi is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. The meaning of it is to show that you believe if someone does something wrong, that person should be punished by having the same thing done to them. Thank you for listening.
Do you know the ancient artifact from China, which has supposed inscriptions characters inside of it?
It's full of interesting stories and a mysterious curse and was very famous that even showed up in the Chinese textbook.
Hello everyone, I'm Janet from 7 Wall.
Hello everyone, I'm Idris from 7 Li.
Today we are going to talk about an interesting Chinese artifact, Mao Gongding.
There are over 500 bronze inscriptions inside of Mao Gongding. They are the second type of writing in China, and Mao Gongding was one of the most representative works of art, which shows its artistic value. Mao Gongding also has an important position in the Chinese history, and was once regarded as the symbol of royal power and religious supplies.
It was also primarily used to hold food and wine offerings during the ritual ceremonies, such as sacrificial offerings to ancestors and gods. These ceremonies were an important part of the religious and the cultural practices of the time, and Mao Gongding was an essential object for such occasions.
The characters inside of Mao Gongding are telling a story about King Zhou wanted to make the kingdom better in his early days of his succession to the throne. Then he ordered his uncle, Mao Gongyu, to handle the affairs to the state. He also ordered his family to serve as the imperial guards to defend the royal family, and gave them wine, food, clothing, and weapons. In memory of King Zhou, Mao Gong documented the events on Mao Gongding, and will belong to their descendants and kept nice forever. This is King Zhou. Look, so handsome.
Mao Gongding itself doesn't have a curse, but one legend tells that in ancient times, Mao Gongding was cast by Mao Shu, a high-ranking official of Jin state. After the casting was completed, Mao Shu wanted to prove the quality and the durability of Mao Gongding, so he put it into the molten furnace. Surprisingly, Mao Gongding emerged intact from the furnace, which amazed the onlookers and led to a saying: if someone wants to damage or steal Mao Gongding, they will suffer great punishment and misfortune. This is the end of our presentation. Thanks for listening.
This is the end of our presentations. We have been 7 Wall and hope you enjoyed our speeches today. Thank you.